Hello, my name is Bethany Ignowski, and today I'm going to talk to you about workplace relationships. First, we will talk about the workplace relationships do's and don'ts. We'll start with the do's. Do participate with other people in your workplace. That way you can form strong professional relationships with those around you. Another workplace do is do offer assistance to those around you if they're having issues or if in any projects they might be working on. That way they know that you are serious about your work relationships. Another workplace do is communicate with others and communicate well. Communication can build strong relationships. Some workplace relationship don'ts. Don't ignore your surroundings. Don't walk in the front door and go right to your office and close the door. Make sure other people know that you are there. Also, do not be involved in personal matters at work. People might want to bring issues to you that they are having at home. Be polite and don't respond to any opinions they might want you to give. Also, it is very important not to gossip. People might not be able to trust you with any issues in the company if they know that you tend to gossip. Another important issue that can come up in the workplace are dating relationships. Before you decide to date anyone at work, always consider the repercussions. You might end up having a big fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend that you work with, or you could always break up with that person. Will you be able to work with them on a daily basis after you break up with each other? Always consider that. Also remember that people will talk about your relationship, no matter if it's right or wrong. People might think that you're dating your superior so you can get to a higher level in the company. My advice for dating relationships at work is just to keep away. Make the decision not to date someone at work. You'll be able to keep a professional relationship with everyone that you work with. One type of relationship at work that I think is important to have are friendships. And why I think this is important to have is so any kind of issues or ideas that you might have for your company, you might be able to bounce those ideas off of your friend to get positive or negative feedback, and they can do the same with you. Always remember to keep it professional. Sometimes relationships, especially friendships, can be more relaxed. Always remember that you are still at work and that people will be hearing the kind of responses and everything like that you will be giving to each other. Always choose carefully when it comes to picking your friends at work. Be sure you pick someone to be your friend that has your best interest in mind. A poll was taken where people that were either classified themselves as actively disengaged or not engaged at work or engaged or involved at work were asked what they thought the importance of friendships in the workplace. The people that were actively disengaged tend to be indifferent when it came to their opinion on the importance of friends at work. But most of them strongly disagreed to the importance of friends at work. The people that were not engaged somewhat agreed, but were more indifferent also. The people that were involved and engaged at work strongly agreed that it was important to have friends at work, and very few disagreed or strongly disagreed. Unfortunately, negative relationships will occur at work. And remember that these can come from anyone, a superior or a fellow coworker. Remember that these negative relationships come from negative tension, and the responses that you can get from that tension can be harsh. Unfortunately, this might come from some level of distrust among the parties. Maybe a boss doesn't trust that you can do the job appropriately, or a fellow coworker doesn't think that you're doing enough of your work. These are some ways to cope with negative relationships. Always give the person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're having a hard time at home, or maybe they're having issues at work. Remember, you would want them to extend the same courtesy to you. Always examine yourself. Maybe you're not giving 110% at work. Remember, people only trust those that are holding their weight at work. let it roll off your back and move on from it. If people notice that you're resilient to it and you are righting the situation, they might be able to move on from that negative tension themselves. It is always important to know your company or workplace policies and guidelines. These are important to remember the amended policies or any added policies your company might add to their guidelines. These policies and guidelines are set up to protect you for legal issues such as sexual harassment claims, or they even set up how other people should treat people equally in those relationships in the company. Now it is time for an evaluation, just a couple quick questions that you can answer for yourself. The first question is, what are your relationships at work like? Do you have negative relationships at work? How do you handle your negative relationships? And most importantly, do you know the guidelines or policies that your company has? Here are some sources that I gathered for this presentation. I appreciate your time today for this presentation. If you have any questions or comments, you can direct those to me after the presentation. Thank you.